Hi, this is a quick video to discuss individual and team judging. So this rubric that you see in front of you is the individual judging rubric, but it's identical to the team judging rubric. The only difference is that you are obviously judging two people together during team as opposed to one person at a time during individual. When the first thing that you're going to do when you're considering judging is when you walk into the room, you are going to make sure that you look at your judging tips and responsibilities. No matter what, you are responsible for timing the debate. That's your first responsibility. Down at the very bottom, you will see that there's a spot for the individual debate timings. So you want to make sure that you are helping keep track of that to make sure that people are speaking during their allotted times. You want to make sure to leave your opinions at the door. And we're going to be honest, we've had some issues with this in the past with maybe some judges that weren't being as honest as they should be or potentially voting for some friends, things like that. So one of the things that you need to know is we've added two pieces. One is that you have to tally or make symbols or do something on your scoring sheet to actually track so that we can see that you are paying attention and participating and really being involved in the judging process of a debate. The second thing that we've added is that every time a round ends, you are going to be given a little sheet that looks like this by an adult or nearby, okay? If that adult who has been listening to the debate and all those kinds of things feels like your judging is not up to par, it wasn't done with quality, you weren't paying attention, maybe you were skewing your vote and voting for a friend instead of somebody who was a clear winner, it is possible for you to get disqualified by that adult. If you get disqualified by an adult, that means that not only does your vote not count for the round that you are currently voting in, but that means you will also be given a packet and you will be removed from the tournament completely because we want to make sure that people who are participating are actually participating and being professionals. So those are good things to know before you get started. You also want to never fill in for speakers or judges. Judges have to just sit and be completely silent the entire time. And as you're silently listening and trying to figure out whether or not the two speakers are, really saying something that is valuable, or they're using evidence, those kinds of things, you should be marking your sheet the entire time. What I'm going to do is here in a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to do this based on our finals video from 2016 over on the left. Again, before you begin, you really want to take a look at the criteria, which is right down here, and to make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for. So building a clear, strong, and well-articulated position. That means start to finish, you need to make sure that they actually make sense, that they are using the kind of language, building the kind of evidence, stating the kind of contentions or claims that are going to really help solidify their position. The second one is offering a wide variety of claims that directly support the speaker's position. Now, even though over here where you see that there is a 1 through 5, that's a rating system. So at the end, when you are looking at these two people, you're just going to rate them based on the criteria that are over on the left on a scale of 1 to 5. In this case, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. When I look at things, though, like building a clear, strong, and well-articulated position, that's something that I should be able to develop a system of maybe, I don't know, I could add a plus, I could add a minus, because I usually will label something like maybe this is speaker 2 and this is speaker 1 where I'm doing my notes over here. But something like offering a wide variety of claims, I would expect to see like tally marks. So how many claims are actually being offered? Where it says use counter evidence related to the debate to show why the other side's position is wrong. That means that whatever one speaker says, the other speaker says something directly in opposition to that. They are making a comment about the other person's evidence or contention that they brought up. Again, that's something where I would expect to see maybe some tally marks. Maybe you can use a rating system of, well, this one was their counterclaims, I'm going to use a plus. Or better than these counterclaims over here, I'm going to use a negative. Whatever it is that you're doing, you can write all over this sheet. The next one down is that claims are supported using thorough evidence that is relevant, timely, and well cited. That means that not just saying an example of something or referring to something in some article somewhere is going to get you a high rating on this. even if this person over here uses 10 pieces of evidence and this person over here only uses 5, but all of them are maybe well cited, then it could be that I give this person a higher rating because they've done all 3 of these things than this person who maybe said the same thing more than once, or doesn't, it was not timely evidence, or maybe they never cited anything. So maybe I would even write an NC for no citations. Okay. Last but not least, there's an overall presentation rating where you look at, okay, overall, did they use strong language? Did they criticize ideas but not people? Again, that's going to be a rating, but over here you'll notice that there's only 3 boxes for this rating. So this one you kind of think of it as one at a time. So did they use strong language, criticize ideas, not people? Yeah, they did that really well. Did they use appropriate volume and tone of voice? Yeah, they did that really well. Did they speak only during their allotted time? Yeah, they did really well. So it's possible that both people could get a 3 out of 3 here, or if one of the speakers speaks longer than their minute or 30 seconds, maybe you take that off. Either way, you just want to be paying attention to that. You're probably going to be marking these, though, at the very end of the debate. Whereas the 4 criteria up at the top, I would expect to see notations throughout the entire debate. By the time that you're finished, what you're going to end up doing is you are going to be rating these speakers. So I'm going to decide maybe that this person is going to get a 4 this way and a 3 this way, and they got a 4 here and they got a 3 here, and then this person, maybe they got 3s kind of like all the way down. Whatever it is that you decide should be based on the notes that you have taken, not on your personal opinions, not on how well you know the person who's speaking. When you're finished, you're going to add up those totals. So I'm just going to add up a 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3, which is going to be, that's 14 plus another 3. So there's 13 for speaker 1, and for speaker 2, I'm looking at 3s across the board. So there's 12, 13, 14. That's not right. Sorry, that math was a little off. This one was 17. And that one was 14. So then over here, I would circle my winner, which is going to be speaker number 1. Then the adult in the room is going to come around and they are going to look, okay, and they will hand you the sheet and you will circle, okay, this was match number 1 in hour 1. You'll list the speakers and their codes. If I am judge number 1, then I would put my name, my code, and I'm going to put my winner's code right here, whoever I decided. So for right now, I'm just going to put S1 for speaker 1. And then I would put my final score, which was 17 to 14. At the end, the adult will ultimately circle their winner. So if we go back and look and start over from the beginning, let's listen to the debate on the right or on the left, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to actually be scoring something like this live. We won't listen to the whole thing. Really, what I want you to get out of this is I want you to be able to see the notes that I'm taking during it. So again, like I told you before, where my speaker is, I would probably write their code or their name over here. And then next to my criteria, I'm going to have S1 and S2 so that I can kind of track on either side how they are doing. Let's listen in. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. What might happen as I go through and continue this is I would continue to mark and chart exactly what's happening during my debate. And if I need to, I can work my way all the way down this page. It doesn't matter where all of my notations are, so I can write all over anywhere I want. By the time that I'm done, I would then go through and I would evaluate. So I would be thinking about things like I wrote a plus sign here because his position that he created at the beginning, our first speaker, was really clear and strong, and I felt like it was well articulated. I didn't mark anything really on the second one because although he created a position, I didn't think it was as strong as the first. Secondly, if I look at the wide variety of claims, it seems like they're pretty balanced. So I would assume that that would be pretty balanced in terms of how I rate them on that category. The next one is the citing evidence. And although they cited a similar amount of evidence, there was only some citations by speaker 2, whereas everything that was listed was cited by speaker 1. I also made a note down at the bottom. I thought that speaker 1 was using some really powerful language, whereas speaker 2, there was a lot of times where he had to stop and really collect his thoughts, which not that there's anything wrong with that in the long run, but in terms of comparing these two speakers together, that's a big difference. Again, really what you're looking for is how are these things different? So by the time I'm finished, I would rate these things and I would rate them. I would make sure that I was rating them differently, even though there were probably some similarities. If I had rated this all the way through, these would be very similar. This one is going to be up here, whereas this one's only going to be here. And then in the last one, I'm going to make this one a 3 and this one a 2. So ultimately, I would tally this, my winner, so I would put a total